It is the 24th day of March 2022, a Thursday precisely, and you know what it is. A day more to go when it comes to that crunch tie between Ghana and Nigeria over two legs for a place in the World Cup that is taking place in Qatar. It's on that note I welcome you to the Thursday edition of the show. I'm Samson Oloyede. Thanks for joining me. And I'm not doing this alone. I've got Akim Olanrewaju, a sports analyst who joins me via the phone. Aziz, good afternoon. Welcome to the show. Yeah, yes, it's a pleasure having you back. And let's get into it as quickly as we can. Charity will definitely start from home. It's all about the first leg of the two-legged affair when it comes to the World Cup playoff between the Super Eagles of Nigeria and the Black Stars of Ghana. And the Super Eagles jetted out of the country earlier today to prosecute the tie that will be taking place at Kumasi tomorrow on the 25th. What do you make of the preparations thus far?
Well, between the two countries, Ghana and Nigeria, they have a very rich history, starting from 1960, even before Nigerian independence.
Yes.
And I said, and you know that before, any time you had Ghana and Nigeria, it was a very tough game.
Definitely.
I expected the Nigerian team actually come out to play at this particular match.
Okay, looking at the team now, as I said earlier, they jetted out of the country, courtesy of their airline partners, and they're set, they're ready. They had training this morning before the party in the country. 25 players, took part in that training, and it's almost a full squad for Iguavon. What do you make of the preparations we've seen over the last 2-3 days ahead of the match itself?
Well, the response from the general team has been tremendous.
Yes.
Irrespective of the injury that was that occurred to the Nigerian goalkeeper, so I suppose that the preparation has been tremendous.
Yes.
And Nigeria has a very young team, even in Africa at present. So comparing our Nigerian team with Ghana, a whole lot of the moral boost, and the whole entire world, the entire Africa, their eye is on this first leg match between Ghana and Nigeria.
Yes.
I think that the coach of the Nigerian team, of the Nigerian, is a very good coach. You can see his president right from the last African Cup of Nations, irrespective of the results that he had at the second round of that particular
Yes.
game. But all in all, the preparation has been tremendous, and I expect the boys to actually get the result done at Kumasi.
So the match itself, what are you expecting? The Black Stars of Ghana, the last time we saw them was at the African Cup of Nations, where they had a really, really horrible outing, finishing last in a group that had Comoros. But all due respect to Comoros, that shouldn't have happened, but it happened. So the Ghanaians are not even any better, though Nigeria definitely has the advantage. What do you make of the match itself?
Well, the match itself is going to be a very tough game, and I know the Ghanaian team, they have their own way of handling the match of this caliber.
Yes.
Compared to what it did to South Africa in their last qualification match in this particular stage. So I expect the Nigerian team to believe that there will be a lot of things that will be thrown at them, irrespective of whatsoever any circumstances they might experience right from the time they step on the soil of Ghanaians. We should get everything in proper shape, expecting that all the ways we done with 3 points, whether it's 1-0 or 2-0, we should get the result done right from Kumasi before they will now come back to Nigeria, and the match will have been already done in this first leg. So I expect the Nigerian team to go extra mile at least 4 or 3 days. With that, the Ghanaians also, presently now, they are not a well-organized team.
Yes.
Boys are coming to the team compared to the Nigerian team that only have like 3 new players in this particular team. So I even like the experience of some of the players that have played against Ghana
Exactly.
in other qualification, having seen that you can decide to throw stone on them not allow them to enter their dressing room. A
Yes.
whole lot of things can happen. So the Nigerian team should prepare for the rest, and likewise also we are major focus just
O-
to get the result.
Okay. Well, let's see how the Super Eagles fare against the Black Stars of Ghana. Remember, the first leg of the two-legged tie is tomorrow, and it's taking place in Kumasi. For the Ghanaians, they will be without their influential captain, Andre Ayew, who apparently is serving a suspension. Remember, at the last match for Ghana at the African Cup of Nations against Comoros, which they lost by 3 goals to 2, he was expelled from the match, courtesy of a red card he got. So he's serving a suspension and won't be playing tomorrow. That's probably good news for the Nigerian defense, so to speak. But his brother Jordan Ayew is in the squad and will be looking to lead the Ghanaian attack in the absence of his influential brother and the captain of the side. Let's wish the Super Eagles the very best. As I said earlier, the match is tomorrow by 8:30, and then we should expect the very best of football when it comes to the competitiveness or the rivalry between the Black Stars of Ghana and the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Still talking about World Cup playoffs, let's move away from the continent of Africa and delve now to Europe. It's about Italy. Italy will be facing North Macedonia as they play in the semi-final of the World Cup playoff. And for the Italians, the draw is a favorable one, but one star that is missing for the Italians is Mario Balotelli. Mario Balotelli, who was recently called up into the national Italian national team, is not part of the team that will prosecute this World Cup qualifier. What do you make of his absence or his omission, as it were? And more importantly, the match itself, Italy, North Macedonia, who do you think gets this?
Oh, well, Italy is basically the champion of Europe
Yes?
at the present, and I believe so much because of their rich cause of football. They do not want to actually reach this particular World Cup career. And Macedonia, for them to have actually addressed to this particular
To this level, yeah?
they are not a pushover team. But I believe the Italy, the Italian team, they have a very good
Squad.
crop of players as of now, and only one or two things that they needed to put together for them to actually be able to win this particular game. And they have a very good coach as a present. So anything that probably may happen to them, I believe they will win this particular match against Macedonia.
Okay, still talking about World Cup playoffs. You also have Portugal in action tonight, and it's Portugal against Turkey. Now that's a very tricky one. Unlike the Italian contest that is against the minor North Macedonia, for Portugal that's a very stern test. But the sad news for them is they will be doing that without their influential defender Pepe, who has tested positive for COVID-19 and is ruled out of tonight's game. But Cristiano Ronaldo will be leading the attack line for Portugal. Portugal-Turkey, what's your prediction about the match itself?
Well, it's going to be a very tough game. Turkey is always a very good team. And presently now, Ronaldo is very best form
Yes?
of his career, irrespective of his age. Performance excellence is looking which I expect as a present at Man U. And I believe he has put upon his shoulder the responsibility to see that Portugal qualifies for the World Cup. So I don't see any uncertainty against Portugal, anything that will stand against Portugal at this particular time. I would definitely give the winning team to Portugal.
Okay, let's see how it pans out. Portugal against Turkey, that should be competitive, and we should have the very best of European football on display from both sides. Moving on now, still talking about national football matters, let's talk about the Euro 2028 and Euro 2032 bid. And the latest from UEFA is that UK and Ireland have submitted their joint bid for the hosting rights to the 2028 edition of the European Championships, while the likes of Russia, Italy, as well as Turkey have submitted bids for Euro 2032, which is the edition that will take place in 2032. UK, Ireland, they seem like they're running away with the bid for 2028. I beg your pardon. What do you make of this, really? The joint bid?
Well, it's a welcome development, and I believe also development of football generally needs to be spread across the continent,
Yes.
across each country, and with that also the development of football generally and the league business plan of football also to spread across the globe. And you know, with this development also, each country also will stand up to their responsibility and ensure there is successful tournaments in their particular country.
Well, let's see. I think for UK and Ireland, their joint bid will be successful, and that would they'll custom with the rights for 2032. That's where that becomes a tussle. But with Russia in the mix, that's a bit controversial, so to speak, because we know what the world of sports is saying, or the stance of the sporting world against Russia due to their invasion of Ukraine. So I won't be surprised if Russia loses out on that bid and that of 2032 goes to, Italy, as it were. But let's move away from there now and talk about, club football, and we'll be talking about Chelsea. The good news for Chelsea is that their fans can now buy tickets and, attend games at Stamford Bridge to watch their favorite team play. Although the revenues that will be generated from the ticket sales won't go to the club, but will go to the Premier League regarding league games, while for their UEFA Champions League ties and all others, the club would donate the proceeds to various charities in Ukraine. What do you make of this latest development in terms of the government altering Chelsea's license?
So, Samson, looking at this development, is a welcome development in Europe.
Yes.
Of the circumstances that surround the decision by the UK government.
Mm-hmm.
But it has really shown that football per se is not is owned by the fans. The club has grown in such a way that it's not owned just by the owner. It's the fans that own the club.
Yes.
And the government has seen that the power of the people will actually be respected. And football is already a culture in the UK, and it's not something that we can deny any fan to actually go to stadium to watch their beautiful players, their beautiful players. Welcome to development, and I feel so sorry for Abramovich at this moment. But
Yes.
irrespective of what is about happened, it's a welcome development.
Well, talking about the altering of the license by the UK government, it must be said as well that they also made provision for Chelsea Football Club to access £30 million, and that's from their parent company, which is Fortstam Limited, owned by Roman Abramovich, apparently also under sanction. But the £30 million seems meager when you compare the cost of probably even hosting a football game from the groundsmen who have to do the work on the field of play to the various janitors and what have you. But it's still something that is credible, and hopefully Chelsea are able to get through at least till the end of the season during these uncertain times. Remember that before the end of tomorrow, which is Friday, we're also expecting the Rain Group, which is the merchant bank that is in charge of the sale of Chelsea, to whittle down the bidders to just 4, so that there can be clarity regards the new ownership for Chelsea Football Club. Let's see how this pans out. Well, Akim, just before we go on a break, let's talk about Andros Townsend, the Everton midfielder, former Spurs man, played for Crystal Palace. He suffered an anterior cruciate ligament, damage to his left knee during the FA Cup tie between Crystal Palace and Everton, and is out for the rest of the season. Will be out for about 9 to 10 months. It's a sad one for Frank Lampard's team, who are battling relegation at this time.
I feel so sorry for Van Lampard, but that is how he is behaving.
Yes.
That's how it affects the performance
Of his team.
If you look, for example, at Liverpool presently now,
Yes.
it is very balanced, irrespective of whether Salah or Mane
Or Mane, yes.
there are players also to actually get the shoot and get the result from. But coming back to a team like Everton, that probably they do not have enough backup players, definitely it will affect their struggle to be out of relegation zone. But I believe the board members of the team, they already know that there is a lot. They take the team to get that is relegation zone issue. But all in all, I think he's better thing coming out of relegation zone.
Okay, let's you know, give our well wishes to him and hope that, you know, he makes a speedy recovery from this you know, crisis, injury woes, it must be said.